out for more on that. As for now, we jump into our first series of the day here in the round of 8 of the SGL playoffs. It is going to be to the bottom left side of the map from Splice. It is Solar. And to the top right hand side, our red Terran player, it is going to be GuMiho. I picked this match because I figured like Solar and GuMiho are probably, a lot of people lately have been really getting excited about getting to watch a lot of innovation games and stats games and Zest and Hero, and you got players like that in the bracket. We've got innovation, we've got Hero, we've got Classic. But I really thought this matchup here between two players who, we have seen more often in the late event cups. We have seen more often in the SGL cups. I really feel it's a really good matchup. I really feel that these two players are very evenly matched, and compared to like some of the other games where I think like, Innovation Creator, Innovation's a huge favorite. I think Hero Lazira, Hero's a huge favorite. And there's definitely room for upsets in those matches, but I feel this match is the match which can really just take us all over the place, which can really just take us, and you go into this and who is the favorite? Solar's been playing great lately, but as has GuMiho. Neither of these players are necessarily kind of favored over the other to make it through this, so it's really, really exciting to see how this is going to go. As we do see early on in this game, some overlords just starting to spread out. A single Marine just going to be moving forwards and going to get underneath to start working its way through that overlord. So Marine going to start working its way through the overlord here. A few more Zerglings on the way out, and second Marine coming forwards as well. And actually this Solar just being caught a little bit off guard by a Marine-based opening rather than a Reaper opening. So going to be losing this first overlord. It's a nice little early pick-off here for GuMiho, as we're going to be just seeing. Needs a couple of Marines pulling back, and yeah, just kind of pulling back, and there's a reactor in the factory on the way up behind this. Second gas as well. Now, when you go for like a couple of Marines like this early, you can go for something like an armory-based build, aka Hellbats, and that can be very powerful, and you have the Marines then back it up as well. That's one variant of this. If you now swap the factory to the reactor, Barracks just builds Marines, and the Starport builds a medevac. But it's actually going to be a second factory. Okay, wow. So right from the get-go here, GuMiho is going to look to play some mech, and this will probably be a second reactor on the Barracks, and there it is coming down. Just because nowadays the kind of mech openings like this that go super early mech is generally going to be Hellion Cyclone, as it used to be as well, back kind of in the patch 3.7 rather than patch 3.8, which we're in now. But in this patch, you don't need a tech lab to build Cyclones, you can reactor Cyclones, so the idea here from GuMiho is just to get up into a lot of Hellion Cyclone reactorable units off for the factories for his early stages of the game. Now Solar, he doesn't exactly know what's up just yet or what's going on. We're going to be seeing Solar getting ready to pop the third hatchery down in a few moments. So third hatchery will go down in just a few moments here as you see two Hellions about to pop out, and more Hellions probably to be on the way. We'll see when he may start two Cyclones now, but then you could also start them over here, or you can just make more Hellions first. There's so many kind of different choices into how exactly he does this. It's one of those things. He's in general just going to build up Hellion Cyclone though. So here we go. He will probably put down an armory sometime soon and use that to kind of instigate a Hellbat-based attack with these Cyclones, and just really try and hit like a nice strong little timing, which will aim to put Solar behind right from the very start. So as that armory going down in the top right hand side, we see already begin to build up here, and again that will enable these Hellions to become Hellbats, and then they'll just become that a little bit stronger when they try to engage in towards the third hatchery, which is where you have to kind of expect this to kind of take place. As we see, Solar so far has scouted in. He has seen the double factory, so he's already sort of seen kind of what's going on right now. As we're going to see those couple of Cyclones coming forwards and looking to see what's going up with these Hellions also joining up as well. So here we go. All of these units together now are going to get ready to go in towards this third base, and well, a couple of Queens from Solar currently moving down to the south side, looking to see where they can go from. Hellbat's going to start morphing in, so Hellbats will start morphing in. Another Hellbat coming in now as well, and these two Cyclones will move forwards as well. Here we go. Time to start doing some damage. Cyclones already picking away at those Queens, and now the Hellbat's just going to sneak up and tightly hug this hatchery, and it's going to start taking a lot of damage here. In fact, this hatchery is just going to straight up go down. Solar, he's got lots of roaches on the way, but they just aren't here yet, and that means that he's going to lose his third hatchery, and GuMiho will do some good early game damage. Now, Solar's still making a lot of roaches, and he's going to have a lot of roaches on the map. The question is, can he do something with these? Can he counterattack? And can he get some, damage done to make up for just losing his third hatchery here in the past few moments? The problem is there's a lot of Cyclones continuing to come out, and those Cyclones are probably going to be one of the bigger kind of things of this in terms of defending. Now, these roaches will start to go across. The problem is as well, like, by the time these Cyclones are actually reached by the roaches, well, the Hellbats will have done so much tanking that so much damage will have gone down anyway. That's a huge feature of this as well. As you see a couple more Zerglings going down, Roach picks off a Hellion. And these units just continue to go up to the northern side. A few Roaches just continue to move around. As going to be seen still just, well, engagement starting to begin. I mean, GuMiho comes down here. He's actually starting to fight this. And he's the Hellbats to really look after and take care of these Zerglings. We're going to see a few Hellbats from the back as well. These Cyclones now are on their own, apart from these Hellbats coming in from the back. And, well, can Solo get rid of them? It doesn't look as though he can. Solo actually losing quite a lot. He's got money in the bank, but losing his third hatchery means he just doesn't have the lava to spend that money. And so that is going to be problematic for him as well, because he could have had so much more there. And in the end, he didn't. And now, actually, Solo has lost quite a lot as GuMiho will begin to march down to the bottom side of the map. So GuMiho are going to march down to the bottom side of the map. And, well, Solo's going to try and counterattack in here. Going to try and, I mean, that's not a wall, right? There's still a little gap there. And, yeah, GuMiho knows it. So going to try and counterattack, try and get some damage done. Obviously, he's going to have to get a lot of damage done to be able to hold on here. He's going to have to do some great target firing and work some magic in general to get rid of these Cyclones, because they are going to start doing a lot of damage. Queens are going down super quickly. Solo missing transfuses right now. And he needs to try and keep everything he can alive. Big run by in towards the natural expansion. He's going to kill a fair amount of workers, but he still just does not have enough to clean this attack up at home. Not just yet anyways. Again, it's still a situation where he actually has the money. He just can't get enough units out in time, it seems. As we see, Roach is moving forward. He's going to try and pick off some of these low health Cyclones. Look how many of these Cyclones are super low HP. There goes one. If he targets down this next one, it will also go down. It's so low in health. And that is just the kind of the small little things which are just keeping GuMiho strong here on this side of the map. 2 more Cyclones going down now. That makes a huge difference, this. It's basically like half from the DPS of the army, because the Hellbats are doing a little bit of damage, but nowhere near as much as the Cyclones are. As the Roaches from either side now. Solo will clean this up, but he's lost his third hatchery once again, and he's once again going to find himself in a position where he's not in the best of spots. But that said, counterattack potential is there once more now. He does have a lot of Roaches, and his opponent just lost a lot of army. So Solo can go try and counterattack once again. Maybe he can force a lift on the third base, maybe pick off some SCVs, and that might be the sort of damage which Solo needs here to keep himself in this series, or to keep himself in this game. It is just our first game of the day here in the SGL Cup. As we set on up. We'll move on forwards, and we're just going to be seeing these Cyclones again, trying to see what else they can do, just picking away at these Roaches. But is there going to be enough Cyclones? A few Ravagers coming in from the back as well now. As GuMiho continue to take just a little bit more damage, we're going to see Roaches and Ravagers going to be coming in. The SCVs have to be pulled off the line, so this is Solo's chance to maybe even up that worker count. Still targeting down the Cyclones, which is super important here, because again, the DPS they're doing is just so high. And as now he'll kite away, and SCVs continue to drop down. Solo's definitely not out of this yet. He's definitely making a case to stay in this game. Another Cyclone taking a bit more damage. The Siege tank might make the difference here, honestly, towards the very end, as there's one Cyclone. I think that's going to go down as well. SCVs are chasing it currently to try and repair. Now this tank has to dodge away from Corrosive Bars. The Cyclone being repaired up. Is there enough damage to take it down? There is. With the Hellions in the tank here, Solo has to back off. But still, I mean, you look at this and, you know, he's still 7 workers behind, but he's trading a bit better. You know, he's starting to somehow make something happen here. And as we're going to be seeing him with a gold base up. So, I mean, he does have recovery options available. A gold base is a bit better than, you know, a normal base, so that'll help slightly. I still don't think Solo's in a great position, but you gotta admit, like, he's making quite a game out of it for how dead he should have been, considering he lost his third hatchery 2 times in a row. Some Roach is going to come around this left-hand side now, move in towards the third base. I'm just going to start picking away at some SCVs. So some SCVs starting to go down over here already, and that's going to be 2 free workers killed, and just more continue to go down. There's some Hellbats started moving in this direction as well. I mean, a couple of Roaches over here not going to do very much. 8 workers killed, though. I mean, again, it's the sort of damage which Solo needs to kind of get back into this game. So he's doing this damage, but now is Solo just throwing away too many units to be able to deal with the mech army? Well, that's something we've got to ask ourselves, and it's something you got to look at as well. And also you got to look at Solo's tech. He's got a lair, but he isn't using anything off the lair. You know, he hasn't gone for anything kind of super major here. You know, he's just still sat on kind of Roach Ling, and he's still just trying to bust his opponent with this very low unit count. Cyclones will once again help to push these units away, and now turn back once again. Roaches and Lings trying to engage back, and you can just see though, again, Roaches alone do not kill this army. You know, they do very well in the lower numbers when there's a lot of Roaches and maybe very low number of Cyclones. But as soon as the Terran player is beginning to mass up a few more of these units and just gather things together a little bit more easily, then you're going to have a much tougher time as the Zerg if you don't have further tech in this. Hydras, maybe even kind of getting up to Vipers as well is what we're talking about. I mean, we're 10.5 minutes in the game. I know it's been a crazy one, But I mean, GuMiho still has +2 mech weapons, and that's obviously helping him in these fights as well. And so here we go, trying to engage on in while the Hellbats morph in, kiting away with the Roaches as well, still coming in from the back, actually picking off reinforcements. That's the exact sort of thing Solo needs to do to make an unfavorable engagement his own. As the Lings come in from the backside as well, the Hellbats are going down, the Roaches are cleaning up. Only a few Cyclones left here, and can he kill those off? Well, they are beginning to fall. Are we once again going to see some low-health Cyclones get away? No, we won't. GuMiho will lose his army. But Solo lost a lot at the same time once again. 13.6k resources lost to the 11.8k. So much damage done on either side, but it has again been Solo just being a little bit less efficient, which is generally fine. Generally, the Terran player is more efficient. But when the Zerg has been on so much less income for the entirety of the game, more or less, apart from when GuMiho had to pull SCVs, you know, that's when GuMiho is going to take a major advantage. It's going to be seeing these Cyclones. Well, I mean, more of them just keep coming, and eventually here Solo just does not have enough. GG. It's going to be GuMiho to take game number 1 of this best of 3. Very, very quickly, like, I got told there was not going to be SGL or Leifeng next week to yesterday, right? So I got told yesterday that there wasn't going to be any SGL or Leifeng next week. So, yes, that was yesterday morning. So yesterday evening, I made an event. So that is why there is not a lot of Christmas decorations on it. I literally had about 3 hours to make the event, so I made the event, and boom, we are sorted. I had 3 hours to like do everything, like literally go to Match Arena, be like, hey, can we have some coupon codes? Contact OSC, can we set up a tournament? You know, can we OSC partner it? Can you fund a qualifier? Yeah, blah. All of this, all of that. Took about 3 hours, and to make all the Team Liquid Threads website, post the Liquipedia, qualifier page, Match Arena page. And that is why there's not many Christmas decorations, because it was a very quick job. But we had to get it up today so we can promote the qualifier, which will take place tomorrow. When will I release the replays? I'll ask you to down in the chat. Replays go out at the end of the month to subscribers. We will be resending the November replay pack in a few days' time. We send out replay packs twice a month, but it's the same replay pack. So we send it out one at the end of the month and in the middle of the month, which are the same. And yeah, I mean it's like the last one is a bit small. It's only got 150 replays in. It's got like players like Innovation and Solar and everyone in as well. So if you want to get your hands on that, sub up, and it will be going out once again in about 3 or 4 days or something. Anyway, the bottom right hand side is going to be our teal Terran player. Let's see it, guys, if you're going to be cheering on GuMiho. Up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. Apologies, didn't actually set the score there. Top right hand side, our purple Zerg player from Splice. Let's hear it if you're cheering on Solar. Okay, so Hatch Gas Pool going up against the very standard sort of opening here from GuMiho is once again being a Marine and then into a reactor. So little differences. Nothing too crazy though. So yeah, thanks for listening to me while I just blabber on at the start. Nothing really too crazy happening. Do you like Whirlwind? I actually like Whirlwind in horizontal and vertical spawns because it's not unfair for the Zerg. And it's not unfair for the Terran, you know, they're good spawning. You know, this spawn is better than the cross spawn for Terran. But it's, you know, it makes the game like somewhat even because actually the cross spawns are just horrible for Terran players. So I really like this map. And it's one of my, I am very happy to see it back in the map pool and being used once again. It's actually really, really awesome, so yeah. You can see a Rotron coming down here from Solar in the back of the natural expansion, so I'm just going to pop down a Rotron and a third hatchery going to be coming up as well. So third hatchery going to be coming up. There's one single Hellion from GuMiho out the front. Did he just lose one? No, he just only built one. Oh no, there's the second one. So he's got a couple Hellions out. And now we're going to be seeing mech play once again. Well, yes we are. Sorry, second factory is already up. Same opening here from GuMiho, so just enjoying the Hellion Cyclone based openings. I'm glad Solar made a bit of a game out of that last one, you know. He really did sort of take so game-ending damage right from the very start. But he really was able to still pull it around and try and engage here, try and engage there, take a fight, maybe do some damage, pull himself back a little bit. Little bits and pieces like that. And as we do see, Hellions just for now gathering together. The Cyclones on the way up, and the exact same build overall by GuMiho, as this armory is just over halfway done here in the back of the main base mineral line. Single Marine comes in, he's going to start chasing down this Overlord. So Overlord's starting to take quite a bit of damage here. And again, a few Hellions just gathering up down the low ground of this third base. Again, a few more Roaches coming out as well, and these Zerglings going around the right. Solar, continue to see what else he can get up to here. He's going to see these Cyclones continue to pick away at a few more Zerglings. So a few more Zerglings going down, 2 Lings left over from Solar. Going to back away over to the left. Does Solar have enough to hold on this time? I think yes, he definitely does. He's got plenty of Roaches, and he's actually going to catch some of these Hellions before they're Hellbats, which means they go down even faster. And Solar is actually maybe even just going to make an attack across the map, having made so many units already. The question becomes, can GuMiho actually get enough damage out to clean these units up before they just break through and kill all his SCVs? So here we go. And we've seen these Hellions and Cyclones gathering up together. And we do just see the rest of the units here, the Lings, the Roaches, and the Ravagers. Getting set to fight. These Ravagers pop up in the bushes, and the Hellions get caught a little bit off guard. A few of them going down right now. So a few of these going down. There goes one more Hellion once again. And GuMiho will continue to move around in this, as we're going to be seeing Lings, Roaches, and the Ravagers are going to get ready to go up this ramp in towards the natural expansion. And we're going to be seeing these Cyclones continue to fight away against these Zerglings as well. So some more damage being done. He's going to break through the bunker though, and well, against the Cyclones that'll deal a lot of DPS. Across the map, the Hellions morph into Hellbats, and they're going to try and do some counter damage here, which is an interesting way to do this. Corrosive Bowels catch one of the Cyclones, will force them back again as he drops some more. Second Cyclone now going down. GuMiho is losing a lot. As Solar though is in the mineral line with these Hellbats, but eventually I feel as though GuMiho will just get cleaned up. I feel as though Solar will get enough units out. And we're going to be seeing those Corrosive Bowels going down once again. That's going to be one Cyclone going down. Another one will go down very shortly also. And this should just be game, I think, in favor of Solar. You know, these Hellbats across the map, they've killed 3 workers, but he's lost 26 back at home, so you can see the difference. And as the last few Roaches and Ravagers, well, they might get cleaned up here with these couple of Hellions with these SCVs surrounding. They might just about, in the end, go down. But again, GuMiho's going to be fighting a really, you know, a heavily disadvantageous battle. And we are going to be tied up 1 game apiece in our first best of 3 of the day. GG. Once again, SC2 down for the sub. Welcome to the subscribers. And again, guys, every sub this month gets a bauble. Obviously, you're also helping to support me, the stream, and the content we are producing, the events we're making, such as the WardiTV Christmas Invitational next week. Make sure you keep your eyes open for that. Our qualifier for that will be tomorrow from 1 PM CET. So, like an hour earlier than it is today. We'll have our first qualifier for that. It will be a $50 qualifier. And so you'll be able to get involved in that if you would like to. It is open entry. And we'll hopefully be seeing a whole bunch of fun players taking part. Please cast Classic Hero next. So both the semi-finals will be casted here, guys. Both the semi-finals will be cast today. We'll cast one after the other, so do not worry about that. It's just the round of 8 that gets played out at the same time. Guys, let's introduce our players. We are already 2 minutes in game. I've been quite bad at this lately, haven't I? Just kind of really late going into introductions. I apologize. There's so much to keep track of. As we have down to the bottom left-hand side of the map, our blue Zerg player from Splice. It is Solar. And as this Reaper comes in, we have to the top right-hand side, it's GuMiho, our red Terran player, who, with a Reaper, is doing something very different to what he did in the first 2 games. So, is he going to move away from Hellion Cyclone? Is he going to go and do something else? Well, yes, he is. There's the starport coming down almost immediately instead of a second factory. So, very different opening here. Overlord comes in scouts, sees the tech lab coming down as well, so he knows exactly what's going on. Solar sees everything he needs to at the very start of game number 3 in the SGL Cup number 6 playoffs here today. $750 on the line. If you actually type an exclamation mark SGL in the chat, you'll get a link to the Matcherino page for the SGL Cup number 6. We have used up all the coupon codes for that, but if you are enjoying the games today and you want to support some of the players that will be going through, and so on, or any of these players right now, actually all the players will earn prize money from here, from this point today. All of these players will earn prize money, so if you enjoy any of these players, donating will be split amongst all of them, obviously in different percentages, so you can add to that prize pool and help support these players if you're feeling generous. That's an exclamation mark SGL into the chat. So many things to mention nowadays. I've got to talk about all these different pages to look at and link and to press coupon codes into and stuff like this. It's it's pretty intense. Viking coming up here first of all from GuMiho. As this Overlord begins to scout in, we'll want to see this tech lab, and we'll see that the tech lab is not being used for anything just yet. So Viking Raven opening out of GuMiho, very different, not what you would usually expect, but we will see how it turns out as this Viking makes its way through the Overlord. Overlord falls, and some more Hellions just gathering up on the low ground here now from GuMiho. So Hellions gathering up together. The lair starts up in the main base as well. And these two queens from Soul are just going to move up the map towards this third hatchery. Alright, everything looking good there. Then we see the lair is on the way up from Solar as well. So that's starting to happen as these Hellions starting to move out onto the map. So Hellions starting to move out onto the map a little bit, see what's going on. As we saw before, the lair on the way up super fast here is sort of an interesting one. It's not super quick, you know, he still has a third hatchery, but it's lair before kind of anything else. And I wonder if he's just going to try and get to Hydras super early or so, you know, like, I wonder if that's sort of his goal right now. As we're going to be seeing these Hellions running forwards, and well, Roaches and Queens already in position, but one of the Hellions goes down, but the rest do get in. And well, what's Solar's response? Absolutely none so far. Now he's going to start losing drones. As did he just not realize these Hellions were here? Like, wow, this is crazy. To be fair though, only 7 workers going down. That's not so bad, and at the same time he has got a few lings in towards the main base, so he kills 3 workers. You know, losing 7 workers to kill 5 Hellions is actually not that bad of a trade. You know, 5 Hellions is 500 minerals, 7 drones is 350, but of course you lose the mining time on the 7 drones. But, you know, he didn't lose that much mining time running around altogether. So I would generally say that actually killing off those Hellions is kind of nice. It takes away a bit of the map control that the Terran player generally does aim to have at this sort of stage. Now the lair is going to be used for a Nidus network. That's something which I didn't really consider here, but of course it is a great choice if he wants to try and end this game early and just punish GuMiho as he's still trying to take up here in the early stages of this game. So that's exactly what Solo is going to be trying to head towards. We see that Nidus network finishing, and we see it starting to drop down on this far right side of the map, and well, Queens are starting to get inside of it. I guess Roaches will be soon to follow. And he's actually just going to pop up at the front, so it's just going to be a straight up fight at the front, and the Queens will be so good at denying this Banshee play as a form of defense. We see actually the Hellbat's going to find this here. The Raven comes in as the Queens will transfuse that Nidus network up, keeping it alive for a few more Roaches to come out. Needs another Nidus though sooner rather than later. And there's just not enough out here right now from Solo. That Nidus going down. Starts to build another one. Queens trying to keep each other alive for as long as possible. They need to start targeting that Banshee, because if the Queens go down and there's still Banshees around, well, that will be problematic. This next Nidus is about to pop, and then Roaches will start to come on out of it. And will there be enough of them? Well, that's got to be our next question. I think there is, honestly, enough Roaches coming out of this right now. I'm surprised GuMiho didn't try to target down the Nidus network once again. As we can see, these Hellbats will start to go down. Plenty of SCVs have fallen. Actually, we're going to be seeing the Roaches falling lower in numbers. I didn't think there was going to be enough here, really, from our time to really clean this up, but there is. And that just goes down again. 23 workers killed. At this point, Solar's probably done enough damage to kind of fall back and to go into other things and not worry too much. But at the same time, you know, he would have liked to have done a bit more. And actually, he's lost all of his queens, right? So he doesn't have a single queen on this side of the map any longer, which is hugely problematic because this Banshee is having the time of his life, and GuMiho is continuing to do so much damage here in the early stages. GuMiho now going to move up to the top side. We're going to be seeing this Spore Crawler going to be, well, not enough. GG from Solar. His attack didn't work. I thought he might have done enough damage, but when he doesn't have enough queens at home to actually deal with this Banshee,